Today we are on the outskirts of LA and we're gonna go visit my friend, John Reynolds, and he has built this amazing sleeper bug. And you're like, I don't even know what that is, but that's okay, because we're gonna show you, and it is not like anything I think you've ever seen, and it is really fast. His bug is like a little rocket ship, and I want him to show it to us.
Well, we can go see it.
Yeah?
Yes, since you came all this way, let's go check it out.
Well, hold on a minute. Just really quick. You guys even know who John Reynolds is?
OG13.
OG13. Okay, let me time out for 1 second. So you know my background is rock crawling. I race King of the Hammers, monster trucks, whatever.
Okay.
And this is the very original King of the Hammers. He won that very first year.
Well, you're the first girl to win.
I'm the first
to finish, so that's all that matters.
I'm the first female to ever cross the finish line at King of the Hammers, and
all
you're
that
the
really
very
matters.
first winner. Okay, hold on. I want to surprise myself. Well, this is nothing impressive. It's just a totally bones-back car. So why are we here with this like super, actually it looks like we're in what, 1973 right now?
That's 1973.
And but that's what you want people
That's
to
the
think.
facade, see?
That's the facade. So that's what he wants you to think. The original VW had, I don't know, 30 or 50 horsepower. How many horsepower would have been in this?
Okay, so I think it was rated at 50, but that's net horsepower. So what's getting to the tires is more like 32, 35.
Sure.
There's different estimates there.
So there's different ways of rating horsepower. Like if you're just dynoing the motor, right, the horsepower, but then all that power has to go through, the gearbox and everything down to the
It's called parasitic drag.
parasitic drag. That's what it's called. I knew
Parasitic
that.
drag.
Parasitic drag. First of all, if I had no idea what you'd already done to it, I'm sure you get people going, holy crap, that thing's in amazing condition. It's beautiful.
That's the fun thing is when I take it someplace and a lot of people come up and they say, oh, that's such a cute Volkswagen. My parents had a Volkswagen and my grandparents had a Volkswagen. That draws them to it.
Oh, yeah.
And here's the cool thing. If they don't notice there's anything different about it, I don't mention it because it makes the conversation a lot shorter.
Right. You'll get caught
If
there
I
for
if
a
I get
long
into
time.
like the motor and this and that, and they go, oh, what?
You just say, thank you, have a nice day, right? I mean, it looks literally like a brand new vehicle.
That was the whole
It's
purpose.
gorgeous until you go, wait a minute, there's a roll cage in there. Hold on a minute.
Yeah. So.
And if anybody gets behind it, underneath, and looks at those tires, they're gonna go, wait a minute, are those drag tires on there? It's insane.
This project, the start of it was, the whole idea was to be a sleeper and, to make it as close to stock looking as possible.
Right.
But there's a couple things you need because you can't put 517 wheel horsepower down to 560 tires.
517 wheel horsepower. Okay, so wait,
Yeah.
what is the motor doing then?
Well, it's just making a lot of power. You want to see the motor?
Yeah. Not in the front, it's a VW. Should be in the back somewhere.
Okay. So there's the motor.
Holy crap.
It's a weed whacker motor.
That is no longer a Type 1. Did it have a Type 1 in there
It
before?
did.
Yeah. Okay, so a Type 1 had 1600, it was a 1600 cc
1600 cc
motor.
dual port.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and was it naturally aspirated?
Naturally aspirated, carbureted. Somebody commented on my video. I
So
said,
amazing.
"Oh, you're polluting the planet with your car." And you know how much cleaner this car is than the original version. Not only is it fuel injected in modern standards, but it also burns E85, which comes from corn. So little did they know it's
Right.
much cleaner than the original.
And you know what? Whatever. People like that, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's amazing.
What made this possible is I wanted to use the Subaru transmission, which is a 5-speed and it's a lot more robust. It was made from the factory to handle 260 horsepower versus a Volkswagen transmission, which was made to handle 50.
The WRX that this came out of would have been an all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
So you have to delete some of its capabilities to turn it into just a rear-wheel drive, correct?
Yes.
thinking of
Well,
that
you don't
correctly?
have to. There's a couple people trying to make all-wheel drive Volkswagens.
Okay.
And they're still working on it.
Right.
Years later.
Right.
So
It's
we'll
not
cover the
just
outside
any Volkswagen Bug, it's a Super Beetle.
Yes.
What is the difference, actually?
Okay, well, a Super Beetle, they put strut front suspension, and that's the first Super Beetle had strut front suspension
Okay.
as opposed to a beam axle. It was.
Is there anything from the outside that you could usually tell the differences?
The window, the
Oh.
sexy curved window, the
Really?
windshield. So a lot of the purist Volkswagens, they don't like Super Beetles because they don't look like the traditional flat window.
Right.
And that's why I chose this one, because most people don't like them. Okay. So this is the original fuel tank. I didn't change it. People say, why don't you put a fuel cell on it? Because you can't use the gas door. If you put a fuel cell on it, it's too high, and the gas, and that was one of the things. Okay, I want the gas door, so we're going to work
Sure.
around the gas door.
Of course.
So that means the stock fuel tank. This is the in-tank fuel pump.
Got it?
uh,
A
for-
big fuel pump in there, or a
Yeah.
high performance pump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was the original fuel pump for the EFI motor.
Got it.
But what was happening is the acceleration is so hard that all the gas would push back to the back
Ah, do
of
you
the
have-
tank, and it would start the
Yeah.
motor, and the motor would die.
even with like baffles or there's nothing in there like
Well,
that.
unfortunately, with the Volkswagen, there's the stock tank. There's not a lot of room to do all that.
Got it.
And then I came onto this thing, which is called a surge tank, and that's what its purpose is.
Right.
It's always full of fuel, and it has the
Right.
pumps in there.
So all that, fuel that sloshes backwards when you take off, that compensates and allows it to stay pressurized.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very cool.
So that took and then this part.
Yep.
Well, this is the radiator because
Right.
Volkswagens were air cooled. So you have
So
to
you
put.
need a radiator. You cannot
have to have a radiator.
count on just air, right?
Yeah. There's two major tells that says there's something up with this car. One
Yeah.
is the wide tires.
Yeah.
However, I did a bunch of narrowing, so they're under stock fenders.
Is this like a stock wheel that you modified or
Yes.
something to be able to accept the? That's incredible. And then did you weld it and do it all yourself, or how did you do that?
Well,
I
I
touched
have
your car.
I have a
on.
wheel expert, somebody that knows how to weld.
Right.
It's set up, to weld wheels. So it's an 8-inch wide rim, but it's all to the inside.
Yeah. So you actually did have to like cut and
You cut
gear
the,
rig it.
the center out
Yeah.
and put an 8-inch wide center on it, but
Yeah.
it's like most of it is
Sure.
backspace.
Sure. Yeah. Of course.
It's all the tires inside.
And so that involved a bunch of narrowing up of your torsion bar and everything else. All the components got compacted
Yeah.
to be able to.
And this car goes fast enough that it needs a certified 850 cage in it. Plus, it holds the car together.
So little itty bitty dual exhaust sticking out is no longer functioning as.
No,
It's,
they
it's a-
function.
I know it's your
But they're
wastegate.
misleading.
It's your wastegate for your turbo,
They're
right?
not. They're lying to you.
But they sound beautiful.
So it's the only tire that I could find in 15-inch that's real narrow that has an 8-speed rating on it.
Right, which is rated to
Higher. I don't know. It's like still not fast enough, but at least
Yeah.
it has some rating
what?
on
Yeah,
it.
it won't peel apart on you.
And so these
All
are the
your
water
lines are
pipes.
so tidy. And
you know,
you did all of your own welding and everything on here? TIG welding?
yeah.
It's beautiful.
So the air comes in through these louvers, which is made for Volkswagen air conditioning,
Okay.
and then it goes through the air,
Sure.
through the radiator, and then back down, through
Yeah.
the bottom of the car here.
Right.
So this is where all the magic happens back here.
Yeah.
All this structure.
This
and
is
stuff
your
like
structure that you built.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had to support that whole
It just
system
because
because
the whole
this is
motor-
just wants to just,
Yeah, I wanted to push the whole
Sorry.
motor 4 inches forward too,
Right.
which
Yeah,
means I
yeah,
had
yeah.
to strengthen the original truss.
Is that because you needed the space or
The
for the
original
weight
cord.
distribution more over the
because you
axles?
need to fit all
all
the
of
motor.
this?
In order to get a quad cam Subaru and a Volkswagen, you either have to lower it ridiculously low or push
Push
it
it all
forward,
forward.
or else you're having to carve out the outside of the car for the valve covers. So it's called a low mount turbo. The exhaust comes out of the header, and it's a very short distance until
Sure.
it gets to the turbo. So all the heat and energy is right on the turbo immediately. So it does help with response. to have the turbo close to the exhaust valves.
Okay.
And then a scavenge pump pulls the oil out of this little sump.
Okay.
And so it pulls it out, and then it just pushes it back down to the pan, right, which is right here. As far as the pea shooters, this is the wastegate,
Sure.
and this is how I just made the pea shooter. You can see how it just joins into the pea shooters.
So you built all of these brackets and everything, or did you
Yeah.
buy these? You
Yeah,
built all of
it's-
that?
It's all everything.
Everything
All
is
this metal's
built.
all custom to
Yeah.
make this fit.
Man. How long ago was this painted? How old is this paint job?
It's about 4 months old.
Oh, it just feels. Do you hear that?
Is this the stock color
Yes,
that
it
would have been in
is.
here? This white is
Yes.
beautiful. This headliner. Is this dash stock?
It is. It's an original. Came out of a 1978 car.
Okay.
And I found it's original with no cracks in it, which
Yeah.
is really hard to find. Does these impress you? Oh, you turn on the.
We'll get the wipers going. Oh my gosh.
Look at that. Is that impressive? Come
Holy
on. They
cow.
spin around. They blink at you. They
Oh my
change
gosh.
colors.
It suddenly feels like a way more modern car.
Anyway, I thought this would be cool to have hidden gauges, and a lot of people do
Yeah,
that.
that
But
is
I never
so
look at them.
cool.
That's the way
Okay,
it goes.
so I'm dying to ask you if we could go for a ride. And ultimately I want to drive it, but you know what? I'm not going to of course I've driven a lot of things, but I'm never going to come on here and pretend to be a poser or something I'm not. I don't have experience with this kind of, you're going to have to teach me about the gearbox. I don't have experience with this kind of car at all. So I want, of course, you to drive it, peel out, tell me what we can do, show me what we can do. And then if you'd be so kind as to let me just kind of cruise, I'd be
I
super
think we
thrilled.
can. I think we can. It's
Okay.
got what's called a dog box.
Okay.
So the transmission, it has no synchros, and that's what makes it a little bit more challenging to drive. And the
You have to
reason-
get your RPMs at the right,
matching.
yeah,
helps.
matching in order
Yeah.
to shift
Yeah,
it?
it helps. Or you got to really hammer the gear shift.
got it. What did you do to this motor to get it beyond what it was originally designed for?
Well, the block is a closed deck block from IAG, and it's got, forged internals and whatnot in it, and the heads have been ported.
Okay.
And it's a different intake manifold and a bigger turbo
Mm-hmm.
and injectors, and it was at a certain level, and the whole thing
Sure,
just rose
sure.
to get 200 more horsepower.
Yeah.
And then when you run E85, that adds 100 horsepower. It's because it runs cooler and has a natural higher octane.
I
So
see.
you can when you do that, you can put more boost
Got it.
and more timing into the motor. The fuel allows you to have more boost and timing,
Okay.
which gives
How
you
much
the
boost are
horsepower.
you getting on this?
About 29 pounds.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Full tilt.
Wow.
And it depends on how hot or cold it is out.
Sure, of course. and yeah, obviously cooler air is going to
Yeah.
perform better.
Yes.
So winter, we're in the right time of year
Yeah.
to drive
Yeah.
this thing, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So let's go play with it.
All right.
All right.
Is your seatbelt on?
My seatbelt's on. I'm ready to rock. Holy crap! Oh my gosh! Holy crap, John! How much does this weigh?
About 2,000 pounds.
Okay, pretty fast. Crap! You did know it was gonna get squirrely, right?
I didn't.
Oh, huh?
You never know.
How fast was that?
110,
110.
something like that. Maybe 115.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah. One of the things when I built this car was to increase the distance between what it looks like and what it performs like. That's why I went with this color, because it's so like, oh, that's cute. So it's increasing the distance
Yeah.
between how it
It's
performs.
very ironic.
Yeah, ironic. yeah.
Ironic.
And watch me as I upshift one more time.
Okay.
So when you're going slow, it's real easy. Just take your time.
Yeah.
Be firm. You get used to the clutch and
Okay.
gas. Pushing the clutch very easily. Just
Easy.
go right in.
Okay.
Third gear. Fourth gear, you wait just a little longer.
Come up a little more on your speed. Or waiting, you're saying in your
Yeah, see, I'm waiting
shifting,
just
yes.
a little longer.
Yep.
If you want to grind free, that's
Sure.
the challenge. I like to make it as smooth as possible.
But
That's
that
why I'm-
clunking is normal, right?
Yeah.
The engagement.
yeah.
And that gearbox, you call it a dog box.
Dog box.
Why? I don't even know why it's called that.
So it doesn't have any synchros, and there's these things called dogs, and they engage
Oh.
like a motorcycle transmission.
Okay. So you literally have to find the sweet spot
Yeah.
each time.
Or you gotta manhandle
Or you're
it.
pushing it in, yeah.
Oops.
Woo!
Yeah, if you don't do it right, it'll let you know.
That's it. Oh, holy don't catch that on camera. Holy mackerel. You can pass in the most unsafe conditions because it's so fast
Yeah,
that you can do
nice.
it. It's fine.
So you may stall it, you may not. We'll see how good your technique is.
Okay.
Regular 4-speed.
Okay, so your legs must be longer because that's way far away.
Yeah, that's.
Was that?
You're in first. That's the emergency
That-
brake.
Does it need to roll a little?
That's why I was bumping the clutch. Bump. No. Bump. And okay.
All right. Is it gonna go?
Well, you
Oh my
find where the sweet spot is on.
I'm so nervous because that it's just gonna engage.
No, not much gas. A little gas. Okay. Pushing the clutch. No.
Yeah, Sean.
Let up. You don't have to give him. You're in fourth. That's
I'm in
fine.
fourth?
Yep.
Dude, how did I go from first to fourth? It's that tight?
Well, first gear.
It's in first.
Okay. Just find where there's a place where the clutch engages.
Barely.
Just a little bit of gas. Pushing the clutch and firmly. You don't need to give it much gas. Firmly put it in gear.
Okay. I'm in third. I'm in third.
Okay. Now fourth, maybe wait a little bit. And firm.
Okay. Well, I made it to fourth.
Okay.
Wait, was
There.
that it?
That's it.
Is that first?
Yep.
That's third.
No, you're still in third.
That was third gear.
Yeah. Push it all the way over.
All the way over.
That's
Now we're
first.
in. Is that
That's
in
you
first?
do it.
That's it.
That should be it.
I think that's it. That's it.
That's for. Okay. Okay, whoa! I don't trust anything.
I wasn't going to go faster than that, John, but I did it. I scared
Funny,
you.
yeah, he scared me.
But
Because
I
I know
got
what
it.
this thing's like explosive.
No, I was barely pushing the gas. I was nowhere near pushing the gas. I don't trust. I'm not going to make it go crazy, but I did it.
They did it.
I'm a quick study. I did it.
You did it. Okay, you want to try
That's
one
funny.
more time?
Yeah, I'll try one more time. Is this a safe enough? There's nobody around.
So just try to be real gentle. Don't try any
I
kind of
won't.
racing at all.
I won't race. I promise I won't race. We're gentle. I think that's first.
It's just making a clean, no
think that's
grinding
first.
shift. That's first. Okay. A little longer between shifts.
Okay. Because
So
we're
let
not.
it catch up with
Got it.
itself. Now,
See, I'm just coasting it, and it just doesn't even. It just
Well,
it wants to go
no, you don't want
way
to go.
faster, but I don't want to go
You
faster.
don't wanna
Trust me,
go.
I won't go faster than this.
It's like having your foot on dynamite.
Were you at points in this car where you were like, crap, and having to stop and like problem solve all the time? Was
Yeah,
it constantly like every
About-
time you turn a corner, you'd have another
about
issue?
twice a day.
Yeah.
and it's just a little, you know, the whole thing gets broken down to such little teeny segments, you know,
Yeah.
and he'd work through one little segment.
Yeah. Holy crap! Why does that not get old? Okay. Now you're scaring me. As we approach the neighborhood. Oh my gosh.
Congratulations, we got through that. We didn't go to jail. We didn't die.
Right?
we didn't, we didn't destroy the car.
You know what? I hardly ever die. So we're good.
Dude. That was a fun day. I can't even believe it, honestly. Check out more things that John has done. Where are they going to find you?
Oh, probably John Reynolds on YouTube. I have some other projects going. I have a V8 Corvair conversion.
Cool.
I'm putting out the UFO, which is an Ultra 4 race car.
Yeah.
And I have the whole build of that car. It's going to be on YouTube. So
Awesome.
if you're interested in this kind of stuff, John Reynolds on YouTube.
Yeah, and you told me that I was the first one besides you to ever drive the car, and probably the last person. Yo. Boom! You're awesome, dude. Oh, we had booty bump. You don't do the booty bump?
Not really.
Boom!
But I do now.
I got a hair stuck somewhere. I can feel it in my face, but I can't find it. I forgot what I was gonna say. Like, check out more information in the I forget what I'm gonna say here. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and we'll check you out next time.